is up, and welcome back to another hashtag Lockboss show and giveaway. I tell you what, of course, I am PJ, and here in just a few short minutes, we're going to be having our friend Russell over at Detex on, hanging out with us, answering questions, and kind of a little bit of everything in between. So really excited to have him on. If you haven't met him yet, you are going to really like him. He's an absolute great guy. So before that, though, let's talk about a few things here. Of course, we're going to have Russell on from Detex, be talking about all things Detex. We're going to be here in just a moment going over the post of the week. We're going to be going over the comment of the week. And here in just a little bit after it all, we're going to be announcing this week's 5 lucky Lockboss winners. So rooting for all of you out there watching with us today. And a couple of things I want to bring up really quick. I can see our good friend Jimmy J from Iowa Lock Doc. He is in the chat. And I believe yep, there it is. He just posted the link to the after show, the after party. So if you want more where that came from when it comes to the Lockboss show, go ahead, click on the link. If you're watching, you're welcome. And you can head on over and join us. There's a good group of us that are just on there hanging out after, just a little after party, talking a little bit about this and really a little bit about that. It's a lot of fun, and like for me personally, I've got to meet so many people at more of a personal level. It's been really awesome. So if you'd like to hang out, don't worry, there'll be more than just me there, okay? So, but a lot better personalities and people. You can hang out, chill out, talk about whatever you want. So, of course, I will be after that. I actually, you know what, before we get going too far, Julio, can you play some, let me see the comments here, a little confession music real quick here. And Julio, for the record, we do not want any music being played for Russell when he comes on, okay? Only for me. But I have to admit, I'm going to be a little late to the after party because today is my day to clean the warehouse bathroom, and I should have done it by noon. And I got too busy, didn't do it, and so I'm not leading by a good example right now. 100% on me, but as soon as the show's over here, I gotta go down and clean the bathroom, okay? So I'll be a few minutes late to the after party, but I will show up. Okay, that's it, Julio. Cut that confession music. Let's get on to the show here, and let's have some fun. All right. With that being said, let me click the button. Here we go. All right, the posts of the week. This one comes from Dan R. And Dan says, thanks to everyone at CLK. I just got my package in the mail. The tools will be put to good use while wearing the badass shirt. The fruit snack was a delicious treat. Dan R. Hey, Dan, thank you very much, not only for being part of the community, but for taking a picture. And man, I absolutely love that Lockfather lockout sticker. I haven't even got one of those. Lily, Ian, Kylie, whoever's on the chat today, what the heck? I need one of those, okay? Please send one my way. That's very cool. All right, this next one comes from David M. And David M. says, this is just one example of a locksmith attempting to open a TL30 safe. Hadn't opened some B-rated safes apparently, but this one was way over his head. He drilled and butchered this safe for 2 days before I told him to pack it up and go home. I drove to Atlanta to Alabama to open the safe. Won't say exactly where to protect the locksmith's identity. I'm sure he learned a lesson. It's very kind of you. A safe that I could have originally opened in the 30 to 45 minutes took me over 2 hours to defeat the damage he had done. Point being, don't let your ego override your experience. Yeah, amen to that. I mean, that can get it. That can definitely get us all, I tell you. All right, the comment week comes from NY Locksmith. Says, Lockboss, great to see how well built it is. would be cool to see how the electrified version looks like. Thanks, PJ. You did a fantastic job. Now, NY Locksmith, of course, I know you're referring to the Advantex video, so thank you for that. And I don't know, maybe, just maybe, you'll be seeing an electrified Detex in your future. Now, with that being said, okay, it's time to bring on the one and only Russell at a Detex, an amazing guy. Happy to have him here. If you haven't met him, I'm excited to introduce you. And for those of you who have, you know he's an absolutely amazing guy. He knows more about Detex than maybe anybody, at least, that I will meet, for sure, way more than me. And I'm really excited to have him here with us. So with that being said, Russell, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And Russell, you know, I just realized I've had this nice and cold Topo Chico right here. And I don't know if you know, but I love drinking these things on live, or actually all the time. And so I just want to say cheers to all you out there drinking a Topo. Russell, have you ever had a Topo?
I don't believe I have.
Well, you know, next time I'm down there in Green, Texas, we'll have to pop one together, you know.
I know you went searching for them. I know that when you were here, you were definitely looking for them.
Yep, you know, and I want to hold it against you if we put a little something extra in it as well, okay? I'm just saying.
All right.
But no, so now, Russell, I've gotten the privilege to meet you twice in person down there in Green, Texas, and I tell you, I got to go to the plant twice, and man, it's been an absolutely blast to meet you guys, hang out with you, and I couldn't be more happy to have you on the show with me right now. So I really thanks for being here, and I know it's a little after 6 o'clock your time. Oh, maybe I can't hear yet?
It's 6:07 here.
Yep, 6:07. Yeah, so thanks for being here. I know it's dinner time, so I'll try not to keep you too long, but I appreciate you being here. So now, for everybody watching, here in a few minutes, I'll be talking to Russell about all things Detex. But before I do, if you have any questions for Russell about Detex, go ahead in the chat, go ahead and put it in there. I'd be more than happy to ask them and kind of get into the weeds a little bit. But Russell, first, let's talk about how long have you worked at Detex?
I have been here since 1988, which is approximately 37 years.
Wow. That's a very long time. And have you always worked in like the technical support side of Detex, or what type of positions have you had?
So I started as a repair technician, and I was a phone backup. And as we grew, I took over the repair department, and then I was promoted. They separated the two, the phone support and the repairs. So then after being in repairs for quite a while, I switched over and started doing phone calls again. And then I became the supervisor of tech support. And as of 2 years ago, 18 months ago, I was promoted to the trainer at Detex.
Okay, cool. And so as the trainer, what does that mean? Like, are you training staff? Are you training customers? Like, what does that look like?
All of the above. We have a training here every Thursday for our staff. And then we also go and train locksmiths. We also talk with architects and talk with them about what Detex can do and how spec writers can write Detex and match other competitors.
Okay, very cool. Now, I've gotten the privilege to sit in one of your classes, and it was really fun a lot of times, sometimes, you know, when a manufacturer starts kind of flipping through the product catalog, they're kind of reading what's on the pages, and, you know, it's probably a good thing. But the fun thing with you is as you start going through, like, you really bring it to life with the this was one of the first products we had. This is what's, what it's morphed into when someone's looking for this. Like all the little extras that you provide are a lot of fun.
Certainly, I can provide the timelines because I've been here for a lot of them.
Absolutely. And, one of the things I really liked showing in the videos that we've released so far with more to come is that Detex not only has amazing people there like yourself, but also like you guys are actually manufacturing in the USA, right? And
That's
I don't
correct.
think anyone can argue with us at this point with, the videos that have already come out, right? Like that's actually happening.
Yes, we just actually added 50,000 square foot to our factory floor.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. And the first time I was there, it was like right before you guys moved in. And then the second time was like after you guys moved in, which is when we were filming and stuff, which is really cool. So, if I could, Russell, I kind of want to hop into a few different products and kind of talk through them here just a little bit.
Okay.
And
I
first of
did
all,
see a question up above,
oh, you
PJ.
did?
There was a guy that was asking about the 300 and the 500. What's the difference between the two? So the EX500 is an alarm device that when you open the door, it sounds immediately, versus the EAX300 is a door propped alarm. So that's a device that you don't mind people using the door, but they shouldn't prop the door open. And if they prop it open, after so many seconds, it's going to go into alarm until the door's closed.
Yes. Yep. And on that topic, Russell, you have at least I was there, and I don't know what you can share compared to there, in the person to being here live on the internet, but it seems like a lot of the products that Detex has actually come out of listening to the customer's needs. Right. And you've shared, at least when I was there, you shared some stories about how like why the 300 exists and like the stuff that came out from, people, companies or institutions leaving doors open. I was wondering, do you have any cool stories you could share about like the door prop alarm or anything like that?
A lot of that is just a request. We get enough calls in, and they say they want an application where the unit works in this fashion, and then we find it that it's something that's marketable, then we can always produce it. There are national accounts that have come up and they say, we want the alarm to stay disarmed for so long, and then when the doors close, it rearms itself. And so there's some national accounts that has actually asked for that. So that's where that's generated from.
Yeah. And would you say that a lot of the 300, which is the prop alarm, is like more of like a loss prevention type of a thing? Or is it sometimes just like people are like, hey, listen, like in a factory, they're like, hey, we don't want to be heating or ACing the outside because that's expensive.
It actually received a reward for energy efficient because it forces folks that, if they want to go outside, they have to close the door behind them. Otherwise, the alarm's going to sound. So that is energy efficient, and that's the award that was won.
Awesome. That's really cool. Now, for a lot of the people on the live stream and the people who are going to watch it after are, a lot kind of in the technical, right? They're the ones they're going out and they're putting new batteries in. They're, rekeying the cylinders on it, that sort of thing. And I have to say, Russell, when I was there the first time, you actually gave me this and I still have it here. Right.
Yes.
And this tool here, and I've done a video on it, is removing that nut on the back of the EAX 500 and 300s. And along with that, my first experience as a young man with Detex was going out to a job to actually replace a battery. And they didn't have the key. And I remember my dad telling me, you just got to keep picking it. And I remember when I was at the job, and this is going on, and I'm like, you got to keep picking it. And then I realized, once I picked it once, it went dunk, right? Yeah. And I was like, oh, I get it. Just keep picking it, And over the years, there's been a lot of chatter about the code series compared to what is kind of used, right? The code series, I think, goes from DT00 to DT30 or 31 or DTX. And I was hoping you could kind of put all the rumors out there of what it really is. And I've done a video on it, but I would just like to hear it from actually Detex.
Okay, so the keys go quite a ways back. Detex started making the ECL 230 back in 1963. So that's when the first exit alarms and exit control lock came out for Detex. And at that time, there were double bitted keys. There were 1 through 30. So in the middle there, the 11 through 20 is what actually ended up Detex using today. So the 1 through 10 and 21 through 30 are no longer used. We haven't used those in probably over 35 years. Right after I started working here, they stopped using the double bitted key and started just using the single bit. So there are 11 through 20 is what we currently use, and that's a single-sided key.
Okay, yes. So when someone encounters an alarm or, any of the mechanisms that has a key cylinder in it, and it has it's a single-sided, it's going to be through there. And by the way, right, the number stamped on the the code stamped on the cylinder, right? But
yes, that's more like 20 years ago that started, but prior to that, there was no stamp on the locks. So you would have to, on the bars, you would actually look down the side of the bar and look where the bar goes into the cover, and there was a little dust cover that had a number stamped on it. So there was a different way of finding that cover lock number.
Okay. Yep. Perfect. Yeah. So you know what? You heard it directly from Russell. And, that is, I think we can put that to an end, right?
The great thing with the single or the double bitted keys, they were not like the current ones where it's only a quarter turn that unlocks it. So you would only have to pick it once.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay. That's very interesting, which if someone is encountering one of those has to do something, that's actually, much more helpful, right?
Yes. It was one of the, you just turn it a quarter turn, and it was that tab that would then fall in behind a metal piece, and that would hold it in place. The current one is threaded on a bolt, and you have to, if you're going to pick it, it's going to be 32 times that you have to pick it.
Yes. Long time around, that's good. That's good. Okay. So I want to move on from the alarms here a little bit, and I want to move on to, there's the value line exit devices and then the Advantex. Now, the cool part, and I have to say thank you to you and Rick and Jaime, all the guys out there that did it, but that Advantex door, the exit device that I made there, you guys all shipped to me, and I actually have it right here.
Nice.
And so I have to first of all say thank you.
Sure.
But man, I tell you what, I want to put it on a door, but I don't know. I haven't thought of the perfect door for me to put it on because this thing is close to my heart here. Putting this on, it's shined up, it's amazing. But
there's a lot of folks that have been asking for that on the chats. Maybe you should take bids on it and then sell it and then provide it for charity,
Yes, I could also do that.
Yeah.
The only thing is that I would hate to have Detex have to warranty my work, I mean, when it falls apart after 2 pushes or something,
I saw it. It's going to be good. It's going to last.
Yes. I mean, that's what I'd hope, but yeah, that's, it's really good. But, I had so much fun making those and realize how they get put together. The people there are awesome, but I'd like to talk a little bit through from your perspective. There's the value line, and then there's the Advantex line. And for people out there watching, what application or what scenario would you say one is better over the other?
Well, they're both grade 1 devices. So what that means is they've both been UL tested to the highest grade exit device there is. So there's not, one is made, Advantex is made with 10 different finishes, and there's a lot more bells and whistles that go along with that. It's a complete line, and it has multiple different electronics that go in it. As far as the value series, it is not a complete line. It just has the rim device and the surface vertical rod, but it gets a lot more use in areas where maybe the doors are not visible. It's more like for a warehouse. However, if you get a value series, a solid black one, you'll see those on the front doors of Chili's because they really look sleek in the all black. So really, I would say there are national accounts that made decisions that they use value series throughout their entire business, except for 2 doors. And that's 2 doors that have tools coming in and out of them, carts coming in and out of them. And they decided to go with the Advantex, the all stainless, in those 2 doors. It's not to say that the value series wouldn't work in those doors, but it's really just an account decision on where you wish to use that.
Absolutely. And with the Advantex series, something that's I found interesting was like the weather, I don't know, is the weatherproof is the right word?
Weatherized.
Weatherized. Thank you.
Yes.
You. And the applications that carry warranties that are kind of more extreme, like an outdoor setting, that like you can put an Advantex weatherized on there, right? And like you guys build it to actually last.
So I'm going to say that has been a growing process for Detex. There are many times that as we were growing with weatherized products, we really have secured that market because of the innovations that we have come up with to be weatherized. Early on, we were trying to humiseal boards and use caulk around the boards. Any way we were trying to do it, water would still find the cracks to get to the circuit boards and make them not work. The way we do it today, there's no water that's going to penetrate the coating that we have on it. So it is truly weatherized, can go out there. It doesn't need coverage. It can go out there on a gate and just be out there alone by itself, and it's still going to function.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like, they're like, and you know, being there, obviously assembling one, seeing how Detex actually views their own products, right? Like, these aren't coming off a ship and you're putting them in a Advantex box. These are made. You guys have continually spent time engineering them, and like it's ready for those abuse. I mean, I don't know if I want to use abusive situations, but situations that demand a exit device that needs to have a lot of use and needs to hold up in the weather.
That's right. They're independently tested, so it's not Detex saying this. They've gone to Southwest Research and they've been independently tested for driving rain tests, for salt fog tests, temperature control tests. We do have those chambers here because we want to check and make sure that it passes first before we ship it, because that test, whether it passes or fails, costs the same amount of money. So that is some expense that we went ahead and occurred just because we want to make sure that when we send it out, it's going to pass.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's one of those things that it's real interesting, you know, when you're there with you all at Detex and you hear how you talk about the Advantex line, the value line, even all the products, like you guys know them very well, right? You know them very well. You listen to customer feedback and you've continually improved and refined them. And not to say that, like, I mean, it's kind of one of those things like maybe that's kind of how it should be, but it's something that you don't see often. I don't actually see often. And so like the love and attention that you guys all put into the products there to make them last, it's pretty wild that you're like, hey, here's a weatherized Advantex exit device. go ahead and put it on that high school football stadium that it gets snow in the winter and it's hot in the summer. Put it on there, and like we've designed it to actually be used in that application. It's honestly kind of wild.
Yeah, and I think that goes to being a smaller company and being independent, is that whenever there are uh, questions that come up about it, we can certainly react quicker, or at least we hope we react quicker. And we do have a program called a Try Me program. So if someone else's product has been on that gate or on that door and it continues to get abused, we say, okay, let's put ours on there and let's see if it works. And if it works and it withstands, then 6 months later and a year later, then we know that it's going to work. You know it's going to work. Then you can pay us for it. So those are our Try Me devices.
Yeah, and that's really honestly putting your money where your mouth is, right? I mean that
Yes.
it doesn't get any more money where the mouth is on that one, right? It's not like, oh, it should hold up. You guys are like, no, try me, right?
Yes,
It's
we
pretty
are.
awesome. And
Yes.
I think that's a great true example of the Detex that I got to know, right? There is the Detex I knew of as a kid. I've literally seen boxes like this as a kid in my dad's lock shop, under the counter of something that he replaced, and he puts the old panic bar in there and then, slides it under some table somewhere, right? And so there was the Detex I knew from the logo, and then there was the Detex I got to meet when I showed up there. And it's the real deal. And if you want products that hold up, Detex is it, and I'm being serious about that.
It is. And as I travel and I go from business, hotel, wherever it is, of course, in the business, you always look at the doors and check everything out. And one thing that I will say is that our end cap that we have on the Advantex is one of the most expensive end caps in the business. And the reason that is I sat through and doing repairs. There was a room next to me and they were testing it. They were throwing carts, they were hitting it with carts. And anytime our end cap came off, they came up with a new design. And so if you look at our Advantex end cap, it's stainless steel. It has tabs welded in it. It's brushed, so it looks nice, but that those tabs fit inside of the channel of the device, and if it gets hit from that direction, it can't move. It can't come out. So I uh, I always say that if you want the end cap to stay on, you should buy the Detex.
Yeah, and it just goes to show like how you're describing the end cap right there before how you were describing the electronics that were going in, in the exit devices for the weatherized. Like that attention to detail and that problem solving is not normal, Russell. Like you realize that that's not normal. Like privately, when I meet with the manufacturer and we're talking through stuff, like one of the things I always like to do is read the warranty. Because when you read a warranty from a manufacturer, they tell you everything you want to know about what they believe about their products. In other words, is the warranty built to wiggle out of warranty, or is it built to make sure the customer is satisfied? And it's pretty obvious when you start reading them, what side everybody's on this one, and with how Detex does stuff. I mean, as someone who, we've been selling Detex now for a few months, it feels really good as a company that is reselling, Detex products, that like Detex is going to take care of our customers, and stand by it. And when an issue comes up, it's not like sweep it under the rug. It's, hey, let's actually dive into this and let's solve the problem. And it's really awesome. And I hope all of you out there, I'm sure so many can have good experiences with dealing with Detex the same way I have. So it's really awesome, Russell.
Sure, it's great because it's feels good to work for a company that does take care of the customer.
Mm-hmm. Yes. And how cool is it? You guys let me go in there and film. It was absolutely amazing. And, it's one of those things I think, when we close our eyes and we think of American made hardware manufacturing, I hope everybody thinks of Detex, right? Because that's really what's going on. Standing behind the product that is made in that factory. It's absolutely amazing. So, but perfect. So I've been trying to go through and look at some of these comments. But Russell, I went to public school and I have a hard time reading and talking at the same time here.
I understand that. Staying focused of what you're trying to explain and say and try to read is not always simple.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Joe says Detex has always worked when others don't or won't. I think I saw Adrian. What's up? I think he said that. Yeah, here it is. We spec them for outdoor applications here in Montana. That's the litmus test right there, right?
Yes.
And let's see here. Let me go through.
I will say that Detex started in the backdoor business with the gray box and the red paddle, the 230s, and so a lot of folks don't know that Detex can put devices on front doors now. So that's where the Advantex and the Value Series came out. So that happened in 1998, which we were after everyone else. Everyone else started around 1908. So they had a 90-year head start on us, but our engineers hopefully designed some of the pitfalls out of the new designs that we have.
That's awesome. Yeah, so it's the front door and the back door here. Yeah, that's awesome. Let me look at the comments here. Yeah, that's the statement. Yep, it's an American-made product. Absolutely, it's good stuff. Absolutely good stuff. All right, Russell, I want to end it with you here. Thank you for. It's been 30 minutes. It goes by quick, doesn't it?
Yes, it does.
And so I want to end with a couple really important questions. We've talked a lot about Detex, but I have to ask you two questions. One, it has to be hot down there in New Braunfels? Is that how you say it?
New Braunfels.
New Braunfels. Okay. Yep. What's the temperature down there right now?
Oh, let's see. Right now it's 6:30. It is 92. It's cooled off.
92 at 6. Woo. It's hot, Russell. And
I think it was 104 earlier. So.
Wow. It's absolutely amazing. And then the last one is have you been able to get out and do some golf in that heat?
I try to. I do try to.
Okay.
To the not the last time, but the time before was just atrocious. It was so hot, I think, or I just lost my swing and I was just terrible. And then the last time I went and played, I hit the ball well and I felt really good about it. So I'm back on playing golf. Yes.
Okay. There we go. There we go. I tell you what, I have to, I wish it was hotter around here so I could use that as a reason why I'm terrible. But I still have to right now just admit it's the skill problem. I think it was when I got my DNA tested, Russell. It said that I did not have the elite athletic gene. And, I wish I would have known that a lot sooner in life. It would have saved me a lot of headache in athletics.
Right on.
But, well, very good, Russell. Hey, thank you so much for being here. I hope if it's cool with you, in a few months or something, have you back on and talk again about some of the latest Detex stuff that came out. I know we have some door closer talks coming. We got some other stuff. So it'd be fun to have you back on here again.
Sure. Not a problem.
Awesome. Well,
thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out. And I'm sure we will talk soon. Until then, have a cool, safe evening, Russell.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yep. We'll see ya.
Bye.
All right, guys. Very cool, man. Absolutely great having Russell on. Absolute great guy. If you ever get a chance at a trade show or if you happen to be down there in Texas, definitely try to meet them. And really anybody at Detex, Joy and Isai, all those guys, Rick, absolute amazing people. So, yeah. All right. Well, hey, let's keep the show going here and let's hop on into the giveaway winners. Here we go. You want to email us to sales@CLKsupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989 and we'll send your gifts soon. How to win. Comment on our videos with the hashtag Lockboss. Winners will be chosen from the comments on the previous week's videos for our weekly giveaway. No purchase necessary. All right, with that being said, here we go. Winner number 1 is Austin Staggs 615. Austin, congratulations. Winner number 2 is Strong Tower Lock and Key. Congratulations. Winner number 3 is CAD68M_M. Congratulations. Winner number 4 is Russell Hansman 7983. Congratulations. And last but not least, winner number 5 this week is Back Pocket Locksmith 4669. Congrats. Very, very cool. Well, I tell you what, that's what we have going on this week, man. Absolutely fun. I don't know about you guys. I absolutely love having our special guests on. And I'm so happy that if you don't know Russell, that I was able to introduce you to him. So, very, very good stuff. But that really brings us to the end of the show this week. So, man, I tell you what, 37 minutes definitely goes by quick. And look at that. Julio already has the end of show music on. Julio, you trying to get out early today? Huh? Or are you trying to get me to go clean the bathroom? Because that's actually what I need to go do. My day of the week. I haven't done it. Not leading by example on that. So I'm going to go get it done though in just a minute. So a quick reminder that if you want more where that came from, you want to hang out with myself and others, go ahead and hop over into the link. You'll see Jimmy J Iowa Lockboss. It's actually hosted on his server, the Lockboss After Party, where we talk really a little bit about this and a little bit about that. They try to curb Jimmy and I from talking too much about F1, but sometimes we get a little F1 discussion going on. But it's really, we talk about all sorts of range of topics. And man, I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun. And probably the best part for me truly has been able to get to know so many of you at a much deeper level. It's been really awesome. So many great people. So hey, maybe you're looking for a few more friends. The Lockboss After Party, the Lockboss community might be the place to go because, well, we're always accepting new friends, I tell you what. So especially if you like locks and keys. With that being said, it's been great being here with you. I look forward to being back here with you next week, same place, same time. Of course, it's the last Tuesday of the month, which means our friend, my dad, Pete, the Lockfather, will be on with us. It'll be a good time. So anyways, whether I see you in a few minutes or I see you next week or in the videos, I hope you have a wonderful and safe Tuesday evening. Y'all take care. We'll see you.